यशोमति नंदन ब्रजबरनागर यशोमति नंदन ब्रजबरनागर गोकुल रंजन काना गोकुल रंजन काना गोपी परनदन मदन मनोहर गोपी परनदन मदन मनोहर कार्य धमन विधाना कार्य धमन विधाना हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे अमर हरि नाम अमिया विलास अमर हरि नाम अमिया विलास विपिन पुरंदर नवीनन घर भर विपिन पुरंदर नवीनन घर भर बंसी भदन सुभाष बंसी भदन सुभाषा ब्रज जन पालन सुरकुल नासन ब्रज जन पालन सुरकुल नासन नंद गोदन रखवाला गोविंद माधव नवनीत तस्कर गोविंद माधव नवनीत तस्कर सुंदर नंद गोपाला सुंदर नंद गोपाला जमुना तट चर गोपी पसन हर जमुना तट चर गोपी पसन हर रस रसिका कृपा माया रस रसिका कृपा माया श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन नत भर श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन नत भर भक्ति विनोदाश्रय भक्ति विनोदाश्रय हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे यशोमती नंदन ब्रज बरनागर गोकुल रंजन काना गोपी परनदन मदन मनोहर गोपी परनदन मदन मनोहर कालिय धमन विधाना कालिय धमन विधाना हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So dear devotees, we'll just read the translation of this song. Lord Krishna is the beloved son of Mother Yashoda, the transcendental lover in the land of Vraja, the delight of Gokul, Kana, a nickname of Krishna, the wealth of the lives of the gopis. He steals the mind of even Cupid and punishes the Kaliya serpent. These pure holy names of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. Krishna is the Lord of the 12 forests of Vraja. He is ever youthful and he is the best of lovers. He is always sorry. He's always playing on a flute and he is an excellent dresser. Krishna is the protector of the inhabitants of Vraj. the destroyer of the various demoniac dynasties, and keeper and tender of Nanda Maharaj's cows, the giver of pleasure to the cows, land, and spiritual senses, the husband of the goddess of fortune, the butter thief, and the beautiful cowherd boy of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna wanders along the banks of the river Yamuna. He stole the garments of the young damsels of Raja who were bathing there. He delights in the mellow of the rasa dance. He is very merciful, the lover and beloved of Srimati Radharani, the great dancer of Vrindavan, and the shelter and refuge of Thakur Bhaktivinod. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So this was this beautiful song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It's called Sri Nam Kirtan. So from there we go on to the pastimes of the Lord. And I will just recite, since it's Gopastami, I thought of speaking a little on Gopastami before we go to our topic for today. So Krishna, he was of the age of Kumara, transitioning into Hoganda. So he wanted to basically, go out and herd the cows. So Mother Yashoda was not in favor of this. My son, he's so small, and he's going to go, into the forest and tend the cows, and who knows what can happen there. Previously Kamsa sent so many demons, and we don't know what's going to happen. So they'll be like, if it rains, what's going to happen to him? If it's sunshine, the sun will basically burn his skin. There's thorns, and he'll be inflicted with hunger and thirst. How is he going to survive out there? So because this was a transitioning period, and they got a priest to perform a ceremony, and like when the child is born, then we do the grain ceremony, and we do different ceremonies like this until the child grows up and gets married. Then we do the vivaha samskar. So these are different ceremonies in the life of a child. And here, this is a ceremony for Krishna going out and herding the cows. So there was a priest that was called in, Sandali Rishi. And Sandali Rishi said, we need to get, so Mother Yashoda, she projected her concerns to Sandali Rishi, and he says, well, we need to get, the Kali Kambili. And so what is the Kali Kambili? He says, well, this is like a black blanket that, when you cover Krishna with it, then he won't be inflicted with thirst and hunger and all of these things. So you need not worry about this. So then they asked, like, where can we get this Kali Kambali from? And then he says, well, there's one person who has it, and we could go and ask for that. And then they asked who, then they said it was King Vrishabhanu. They would always cover Radharani with this Kali Kambali, this black blanket, so that she is protected like this. So anyway, King Nanda Maharaj, he's a king, so he cannot go begging to another king for anything. So he says, okay, Sasandali, when he said, let's go there and we'll perform the Kanya ceremony for Radharani. And in that way, because I'm a priest, I will ask for Dakshin, and I will ask for the Kali Kambali. So they said, then he says, okay. So they made a plan. They went to King Vrishabhanu and they performed the Kanya Puja for Radharani. And then just as they were about to leave, so basically both sides were very satisfied, with the ceremony. And the sage, he asked for the Dakshin, right? And then they said, well, what dakshin can we give you? And then he says, I know there's something that you can give me, the Kali Kambali. And then they got the Kali Kambali and he gave it to Nanda Maharaj. So we see in this way, Krishna goes out to herd the cows for the first time, and Yashoda Rani, she, gave Krishna. Then, but they came back home and they did the ceremony, and she presented Krishna with shoes and umbrella, and she told Krishna, you can go out, but you must put the shoes on and carry this umbrella. She sent another boy to carry the umbrella for Krishna so that he is protected in this way. And then Krishna says, well, Mata, if you're giving me shoes, an umbrella, then what about my cows? Cow is so respected. She's my mother. So you need to provide shoes for each one of the cows and an umbrella as well. So if you cannot provide shoes and an umbrella for my 900,000 cows, then I'm sorry, I cannot accept it. So in this way, Yashoda Mai, she gave up the idea of giving Krishna the cows, it is the shoes and the umbrella. And when the cows heard that Krishna was going out, so just for him to not to be pricked by any stones, pebbles, or thorns, they went out before the night before and they stamped on all the stones and pebbles and made it into fine powder. Now the roads are tarred in Vrindavan, but previously when I went, it was like it wasn't tarred, and they were like the sand was so fine, it was like powder, right? So in this way, we see that Krishna went out to herd the cows for the first time, and then that's basically Gopastami on Gopastami day, and this is today we celebrate Gopastami in this way. So there's many pastimes that actually our topic for today is Terakadamba and Pavan Sarovara. So we'll first start with Terakadamba. There are many pastimes that occurred at Terakadamba, but I'll just give you a little background and history of Terakadamba. So the original Goshala of Nanda Maharaj, is Terakadamba, because Nandagram is not far off from Terakadamba. So it's just basically, a few meters away, or maybe a kilometer away. So we see that when Krishna came of age, then, like as I was explaining, he was herding the cows, and he would remember the cows, but there's 900,000 names of the cows, and they were all types of cows, all types of colors and different shapes as well. And in this way, Krishna, he basically remembered each one of these cows. So when Krishna came back from herding, when Krishna would come back from herding the cows, then he would be in the front with Balaram, and then all the 900,000 cows will be behind him, and they would come back. And when all the gopis would come out and they would look at this sight, because it was such an adorable sight, Krishna and the cows coming back from herding. And so when Radharani sees Krishna, because of the elderly gopis being there, like her parents and Mother Yashoda, like that, so she cannot basically look at Krishna directly. So she peeks at him, from under her veil. She peeks at him from the corner of her eyes, so that the elders wouldn't find out. And so Krishna also glances at Radharani with a sidelong glance. We always hear about this, right? When Maharaj is giving classes, he talks about the sidelong glance of Krishna and Radharani. So they basically exchange glances like this. So these are basic basically the loving dealings between Radha and Krishna. So, uh, it is basically called Terra Kadamba because it is a forest of Kadamba trees. The Kadamba trees are basically blackish in color. And when Radharani looks at the Kadamba tree, she thinks of Krishna. And then we get the Tamal tree, which is golden in complexion. And when Krishna sees the Tamal tree, then he thinks of Radharani in this way. So one time the boys were grazing the cows, and then it was, time. So basically, they would graze the cows, and uh, demons would also come to attack. And before lunch, Krishna would kill one demon, and after lunch, he would kill another demon. So, like that, before he goes home. So the Gopas would hang their lunch bags on the trees, and the trees were very low, and then they would, which is basically explain that all the living entities in the spiritual world are conscious, and they were basically low, and they would bow down to Krishna and Balaram as they would herd the cows. They would bow down to them. So it so happened it came lunchtime, and all the boys hung their lunch bags on the tree, and then they took their lunch bags off, and they were basically eating and exchanging prasad with each other. And so Krishna, he would take a laddu, he'll bite into it, and he will give the rest to Madhu Mangal, and he'll say, Madhu, taste this. Just check how beautiful and how tasty this is. My Maya cooked this. And similarly, Madhu Mangal, when he would eat whatever, a kachori or a laddu, and he would give half to Krishna, and he'd say, Krishna, you have to taste this, it's so delicious. So like this, they would exchange prasadam like this. Now, when we offer food to Krishna, we don't taste an offer, right? Because that is against the regulations, right? We offer our food first to Krishna, then we taste. But here we see this is a spiritual rasa between Krishna and his intimate friends in Vrindavan. So once Krishna was feeling to eat butter, because out in the forest there's no butter, right? And Krishna was feeling to eat butter. Then he called for the gopis on his flute, and when he called, basically he would play his flute and call them by their names: Lalita, Vishaka, Sudevi, Ranga Devi, Tungavidya, Champakalata, like this. With please bring me some butter. I'm hungry. So the gopis would bring butter. So ter means to call out. So this is how, they would communicate. Krishna would communicate via his flute. His flute was like a mobile device, right? When we want to communicate with our friends and we want to communicate with the rest of the world, we use our mobile device. So this is how Krishna, he used his flute as a mobile device, and he would communicate with the gopis and with the cows like this. So eventually the gopis would come, and then they would look for Krishna everywhere. And when they can't find him, then they would call out, Krishna, Krishna, we have brought your butter, please come and take it. So then so in this way they would exchange calls, and they would, so therefore this forest is known as Ter Kadamba. Ter means calling out. Krishna would call with his flutes, and the gopis would call out his names aloud. So in this way, Krishna would come and he would get the butter and he would share it with his friends, and they would eat like this. So when Krishna basically wants to call his cows, then he would climb up on the kadamba trees, and he would, the tallest kadamba tree he could find, and he would play his flute, and each note would represent one particular cow, and the cows would come back to him, because the cow herding would be over and he would want to go home. So in this way, as each cow came in, he had a string of pearls, and he would, pull one bead down, so that, he knows that all the cows are back. And if one cow didn't come, then he would basically call the cow by its name, and not with the flute, but with his mouth. And some of the cows, they would do like this because they wanted Krishna to personally call them by their names, so they would hesitate to come like this. So in this way, we see that, how wonderfully the cows would come. And when they would come, basically they would raise the dust, and there would be like a cloud of dust. And this is called go dhuli. Go means cow and dhuli means dust. And, it would be like a cloud of dust. And that was kicked up by the cows. It was a great festival every day to watch Krishna come home like this. So 500 years ago, Rupa Goswami discovered this place, and he would come to Kadamba to do his bhajan. So basically, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave instructions to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami to please excavate the lost places of Krishna in Vrindavan. So this is what they were doing. And, then he discovered this place, Kadamba, and he would do his bhajan there. It was a forested area, and, the trees would basically form like kunj, like a cave, sort of, where Radha and Krishna would have their pastimes. And these trees are basically kalpa vriksha trees, or wish-fulfilling trees, right? And when Rupa Goswami would write about Radha and Krishna's separation, then all the leaves and flowers would fall to the ground. And when he would write about their sambhog, about their meeting, then all the flowers used to blossom. So this was another instruction that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, was to write different literatures like this for our benefit. So once Rupa Goswami was writing the Upadesh Amrita, or the Nectar of Instruction. The Nectar of Instruction basically sums up our whole philosophy, as stated by one of the British scholars who were asked to read all of Srila Prabhupada's books and choose one that summed up our philosophy. So they chose Nectar of Instruction. So Sanatana Goswami wasn't staying far off from Kadamba. He was in Pavan Sarovar, which is not very far off, and it was Sanatan. It was the birthday of Raghunath Das Goswamis, and he wanted to prepare a nice feast, but he didn't have anything because he was a Babaji, and he would do Madhukari, go around begging for whatever he could get, and he would eat that for the day. So he was lamenting like anything that I do not have anything to cook, and I wanted to offer to my brother a nice feast at least. And Sanatana Goswami was his elder brother, so he wanted to present his elder brother with a gift. Like how we would offer our parents gifts, Mother's Day, Father's Day, and the birthday of our friends, would offer gifts like this. So as he was meditating, what shall I cook? If I had the means, I would cook rice, dal, butter paneer, koftas, kachoris, cakes, sweet rice, like this, right? When devotees, it's the birthday of the children or their birthday, sometimes they would sponsor the prasadam, and they would cook like this, right? But then suddenly a young girl, beautiful girl, came very young, like 14 years old, she came with with a big plate of Mahaprasadam. And so he asked the girl, "Where did you get this from?" And the girl said, "Oh, Baba, there was a wedding in the nearby Nandigram, and they asked me to bring you some of the feast." And so Rupa Goswami, so he went and he gave it to Sanatan Goswami. And as they ate, they basically developed ecstatic symptoms. And Rupa Goswami asked, like, "Where did you get this from?" And he related the whole incident that, you know, Rupa Goswami was describing this wonderful girl that came and offered him. And Sanatan Goswami said, there was no wedding in Nandagram, like, and then they both realized that, it was none other than Srimati Radharani who had actually came in the guise of this girl to give them this prasadam. So he said she cooked it and she brought it personally to present it to the two of them. So Sanatan Goswami chastised Raghunath Goswami, and he says that it is Rupa Goswami, and he said, because why did you accepted service from Srimati Radharani instead of giving her service? We accepted her service, and they both basically ate the prasadam, and they felt very bad about it, and both fell unconscious because of ecstatic symptoms, because they're eating personally the hand cooked prasadam of Srimati Radharani, and they were developing ecstatic symptoms in this way. So there is also a painting at this place, and Rupa Goswami writing, and Srimati Radharani in the background. That painting is there at Terakadamba. And at the moment, there's some nice Babajis taking care of this place, Terakadamba. So later on, we'll share those pictures with you. Then we go to Pavan Sarovar, which is not very far off. And there's a verse that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes. I'll just read the English translation. Main Nandishwar hill, which has its base, Pavan Sarovar, that purifies and liberates all it touches with its purifying breeze from its shore, delighting. So we see that Nandishwar hill, Nandishwar is Lord Shiva. This hill basically is representing Lord Shiva. He wanted to take birth in Vrindavan and witness the pastimes of the Lord. And he took this form of Nandishwar hill, which is, not far from Nandigram. It's in Nandigram, basically. So when Nanda Maharaj moved from Gokul to Nandigram, right, Vrindavan, he excavated a huge lake called Nanda Sarovar. He and his family would bathe there. And on the other side, Vrishabhanu and his family would bathe there. And Vrishabhanu is the father of Srimati Radharani. So Radharani and her mother and father used to bathe on one end, and Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, they would bathe on one end. So like this, Radharani and Krishna, they would sometimes meet underwater, and they would have underwater pastimes. So so these are loving exchanges between the both families and Radha and Krishna. So one day, Mother Yashoda was making some unusual prasadam, and Krishna asked, "Maya, what funny things are you making today?" And Mother Yashoda said, "Lala, tomorrow your father is going on pilgrimage, so I'm making things that he can take without getting spoiled, like matri, and all these fried things." So matri is basically fried dal. So so Krishna asks, "So where is he going?" Where is father going? And Mother Yashoda said, oh, Krishna, I'm too busy right now. You better go and ask your father. So Krishna went up to Nanda Maharaj and he asked, Baba, where are you going tomorrow? And Nanda Maharaj replied, I'm going to Prayag to take bath in the Triveni. Where the three rivers meet, the Ganga, Jamuna, and Saraswati. So Krishna didn't say anything. So the next morning, Nanda Maharaj went to take his bath in Nanda Sarovar, and he saw that an effulgent personality was entering into Nanda Sarovar. And Nanda Maharaj, he had never seen such an effulgent personality before. Then he asked, oh Maharaj, who are you? And the reply came, oh Maharaj, I am Prayag Raj. I have come here to bathe in Nanda Sarovar because all year round people come to deposit their sin in my waters. So I came here to this Pavan lake to get rid of all my sins. So then Nanda Maharaj glanced on the other side and he saw these three beautiful ladies, not three, he saw many, many beautiful ladies bathing on the other side. And they were not ordinary women. So, after they adorned themselves, he went up to them and he asked, they adorned themselves with beautiful saris with the gold and silver threads, and gold bangles and priceless earrings and bracelets, waistbands, and they were looking so effulgent. He approached the ladies and he asked, like, who are you? It's the first time I'm seeing you here at this lake. And one of them said, oh, Maharaj, I'm Ganga Devi. And the next one said, I am Saraswati. One said, I am Godavari. The others responded with names like Kaveri, Narmada, Sindhu, like this. So basically, all the rivers came to take the bath there in Nanda Sarovara. So Nanda Maharaj asked, why have you all come here today? They said that all year round people come and deposit their sin in our waters, but we have come here to roll in the dust of Vrindavan, Vrajarenu, and to bathe in the waters of this lake, to become pavan, to become pure. So Nanda Maharaj, he didn't have anything else to say because he was so astonished by this. So he took his own bath and he went back home to Nandagram. And Krishna asked with a smile, Father, when are you leaving for Prayag? And Nanda Maharaj said, I decided not to go. And Krishna asked, why? And Nanda Maharaj said, that all the holy rivers came here to Nanda Sarovara to become purified. So why should I go anywhere else? So from that day, Nanda Sarovara became known as Pavan Sarovara. So pilgrims, they first go and bathe in Pavan Sarovara before going to Nandagram. Like this. So Sanatana Goswami used to do his bhajan there, right? So this is Sanatana Goswami. So Sanatana Goswami used to do his bhajan at Pavan Sarovara, and Rupa Goswami used to do his bhajan at Tirukadamba. On the southern side the Brajvasis constructed a bhajan kutir for Sanatana Goswami because he was so busy all day long doing his bhajan that he basically neglected himself, right? And he would sit in the scorching heat and he would chant his rounds and he would meditate like this on Krishna and the pastimes. So much so that Radharani would come and provide shade to him by taking her shawl, had achara, and covering his head like this and providing him with shade. So one day Krishna appeared before him in the guise of a cowherd boy. He said that as I was tending my cows today, I saw you here with nothing to eat. So I brought you this pot of milk. Please have it and I will come later for the pot. So he was so enchanted by the boy's speech and character enchanted Sanatana Goswami so much. And later on, he regretted that he did not recognize that the boy was Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then the same voice asked him not to worry and asked the villagers to build a bhajan kutir for Sanatana Goswami. So they did this. They built a bhajan kutir for him. So Sanatana Goswami would stay there, and Rupa Goswami would regularly visit him because he stayed close by at Terkadamba. So remember, Lord Chaitanya asked the brothers to excavate the holy places in Vrindavan and to write books, right? So this is what they were doing, excavating the holy places and writing books like the Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, like this. So, and Brihad Bhagavatamritam, that was written by Sanatana Goswami, right? So as they were doing so, Rupa Goswami got attached to Terkadamba and Sanatana Goswami got attached to Pavan Sarovara. So Prabhu, maybe now you can share some pictures of Terkadamba and Pavan Sarovara. So these are the deities at Pavan Sarovar. Krishna, Radharani, Lord Chaitanya. Next. So yeah, this is Pavan Sarovara in Nandigram. So this is a beautiful place of Pavan Sarovara, and this is where Sanatana Goswami would do his bhajan. Next, please. This is Krishna Balarama Terikadamba. So yes, the Brajvasis, they install these deities of Krishna and Balarama Terikadamba. Next Prabhu. This is Terikadamba, the Kadamba tree, and you can see how low it is, right? We have a Kadamba tree here as well, but ours is high. It's it's huge and it's high. And sometimes you find the Kadamba flowers, they would fall onto the ground. And now they are in season because it's summer here, and we actually make garlands with these flowers for Radha and Krishna, Kadamba flower, the one that I got on the poster, right? So the Terkadamba. Next, Prabhu. Oh, I just want to mention that the Terkadamba, basically, it's a plant. It's one of the plants a seed from this very place, from Terrakadamba itself. Can you see how low these trees are? And they form like a cave, you know. So this was basically built like this, you know, for devotees to come on pilgrimage and to experience Terrakadamba. So yeah, I think the Gaudiya Math members, or maybe the Brijvasis, I'm not sure who would have actually, you know, have built this place up, but it's very, very beautiful. Because pilgrims, when they go to these places, and they always leave an offering, you know, for the Brijvasis to actually clean the place and, you know, take care of the place and make it look nice for pilgrims to come. Do you have any other pictures? Oh, this is the picture of Rupa Goswami. He's writing. Can you see? He's writing, and then at the background, there's Radharani. Can you see that? And she's bringing the plate of prasadam. So this is the painting I was talking about. Okay, so this is the last picture. So thank you very much, dear devotees. We'll have the last kirtan, and then we'll finish. But before we have the last kirtan, would anyone like to say anything, or would anyone like to, you know, share their realizations, or talk something about Vrindavan on their parikrams when they went, whenever? To did you visit any of these places, and you know, what was your experience there? I've actually been to both of these places, to Terkadamba and to Pavan Sarovar, and it's very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. And, you know, listening from the senior devotees about these places also, it's more enchanting in that way. So if nobody has anything to say, we'll end off with the kirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Radha Radha Nath Radha Radha Nath Radhe Jai Giri Govardhan Jai Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jai Giri Govardhan Jai Gauranitai Jai Gauranitai Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Go Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Vanchakalpa Trubhaischa Dasintabhyevacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.